Yo.
Shut it off me, Cash. Come on.
Do you know what Cash looks like? You probably ain't even seen it.
Actually.
Did you? No.
Yeah.
Did you watch the clip of T.I. on Breakfast Club with young...
Which one?
What's his name? Young, can't remember his name. And he sticks it on his brethren.
Young and the guy in the background.
Yeah, he sticks it on his brethren.
Who does he look like?
The guy in the back, in the background.
I knew it was don't do it to him. Then you gotta stand up for your friends. Don't do it to him.
Yeah, no, but not in a diss way.
Yeah, in a nice way.
Yeah. Because my man was on. Nah. my man was on a bit of smoke.
And laughing at bare disrespect.
He was like, right, you're not gonna smack me. He said, you're not gonna smack me.
I heard that was funny though.
And yeah, you seen it?
Yeah, of course I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Twitter. Twitter is the home of everything.
He did apologise to him though. He apologised.
Later on, people don't show that clip. They just show the first one. Because they like narratives and then they talk about, you should never be disrespectful to you. Shut up, all you guys that done that as well, man. Bring back bullying, man. That's my thing anyway, man. I'm tired of you lot, man. Tired of you sensitive guys, man. They had two friends had an argument. So
what? Yeah. It's so cool,
what?
Man. They were gonna get over that. It wasn't a problem.
On,
you know what I mean? It was a sensitive thing. It was what it was. Little misunderstanding. I say it sometimes.
Well, big up Cream, big up Scorcher. Who else am I bigging up today?
Oh yeah, big up Scorch every time. Why Cream and Scorcher though? That's random.
Cream, I appeared on the podcast.
Oh, you did it, yeah?
Come on.
Yeah, man.
I reached out.
Big up Cream.
Arms along.
Strongly.
My brother.
Absolutely.
Shout out Scorcher, came on Filthy this week.
Did it? Oh yeah, of course I see him.
Filthy went crazy. Second best performing episode of this year.
Is it, yeah?
Scorcher and Loons, so the culture's always winning. You know my thing.
Yeah, I hear it.
We're just here blessing. Shout out everyone doing their thing. If you're not, it's not my concern, man. You gotta do what you gotta do for you.
Big up Scorcher though.
Every single time.
So it's good to see Scorcher outside.
Big up Gets, didn't get into his birthday.
He didn't get in?
Nah, man.
You got there late.
Outside. But let me show you why Gets is the realest since Tupac.
Go on.
He comes downstairs in a vest and apologises to everyone and says there's nothing I can do. Spends time with everyone downstairs, runs the cool vibe, and then sends me a text the following day to let me know he still apologises. Then puts a post on Instagram thanking everyone for coming, but apologising to the people that didn't get in.
Yeah.
If you talk about stand up, that man ain't got one seat round him. Yeah. Stand up guy. And also, this is the last big up I have to do, Chuckie, before I let you get on with the pod. I know I'm late. And
this is all part of it, but you're always going to do that.
Big up the support from the pod, who were speaking about the discrepancies that were happening in my house, underneath the stairs, the activities and all of that. I'll let to let people know. I don't know if someone watched the pod, but I now have to leave my house for 5 days as people are coming in to do a whole thing to the whole yard. Apparently it's Jumanji down there.
So that's a positive though. The positive is that the negative is that you got to leave, but the positive that it's getting sorted.
The positive is that it's getting sorted, but do you know when there's a lot going on?
The last time though, isn't it?
This is what I'm saying, Chuckie. I sent you the picture. Remember I sent you the picture of the thing?
Oh yeah.
So I just messaged them back like, yo, big man, is this ever gonna change? I said, because they sent a little camera down there. And I said, yeah, tell me what you see on the camera because obviously I'd like to know. They sent me an email the next day. You have to leave for 5 days.
Oh, okay.
So
that's how you know. They saw.
You think I am Jasmine Sullivan? I am scared of the lion, the tigers, and the bears, and anything else that is down there.
Yeah.
But big man, no.
But when they didn't even necessarily tell you, but they just let you know, I think you need to leave for 5 days. Yeah. There's an issue. What? There's something going on. Something's going on.
Wiley's in his yard.
Yeah, Wiley. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, this is the thing.
I'm just there sleeping, minding my own business, just trying to do my thing. I can't survive in my yard. I can't survive anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it'd be oh my God, I don't even want to put things out in the air like that, to be honest with you. But you know what? We give thanks. It's getting sorted out. That's the main thing. It's getting sorted out. You know what I mean?
We did say...
With nothing happening to you.
No, nothing can happen to me. I told you I walk with God, so Jah Rastafari.
It's a bit.
Nothing's going to happen to me. So
strongly.
You're right though, Chuckie. I have to be happy with the blessing. The blessing is getting resolved. Because
there you
that's
go.
Crazy.
It's October and it's warm. Is nobody worried about this?
But it's not warm though.
Okay. It's October and it's warm, bro. I'm out here with this. This is how I'm flexing today. Yeah, I'm driving. Okay, I know I'm driving. But I'm flexing today. Look at you. You was in a puffer the other day.
Yeah, but that's because I was getting London transport. Today, I got a lift.
Okay.
Not an elevator. I got a lift. So therefore, you can...
It's slightly... You don't think it's warm?
No, I do.
For October?
It's a little bit... especially coming from the period where it was a little bit cold. There was a point where I had to get the puffer jacket because...
We're drowning soon. This is what I'm getting at. So I'm just letting you know. You know all that. We're laughing, but we're drowning soon.
The flood's coming.
The flood's coming. We're drowning soon.
So if the
biggest joke.
So if the flood came, who do you trust? Because I have one person in mind to accommodate and build something, his interpretation of an ark, Out of the people that we all know online, who's the one person do you feel that will get us out of this? That we know personally?
Dan.
When I'm telling
100%.
you, Savage Dan,
Savage Dan
is the man.
He'll build something. He'll build something.
I don't mind.
No, he'll do it for his family. No, but what he's saying in the example.
I'm there. You can speak for yourself. I'm in. Next, Savage Dan's adopted me. I'm in the kitchen. I've seen the kitchen. It's nice. It's space. I'm there.
Now, you know what though? If it was adapting, Dan's getting stuck in. He's 100%. Building something. I know a couple of men like that still. They're building something. You're in that context, you're kind of safe with them. And if you ain't safe with them, everyone's fucked.
And do you know what the killer is?
Do you know what?
You're 100% right. And do you know why I want these things to kind of happen? It's only when people are in extreme circumstances, they think, how can I be an act of service?
Yeah.
Before then, they were just willing to take. But when it's extreme circumstances, there's a flood. Noah and Dan are the only people that can get you out. You might start negotiating some things with Dan. Dan, I'll clean the deck. Dan, and all of a sudden you start being aware of the things that you can offer.
Yeah.
It's too late. Dan's already taken me in and I said no to you.
Right.
I don't want you in.
Right then. Do you know what is kind of funny though? I feel as though there's two types of people that you see when there's a certain type of danger. Yeah? A person who feels like they'll need to be inside and a person who feels like they need to be outside. Let me land. So you get like in some yards and whatnot, yeah, they have like the little safety bunker and whatnot. If something's going off or whatnot, you just go down into the flipping cellar in your yard, you close it, and then whatever's going on outside is going on outside, but you're inside and you feel like you're safe and whatnot, yeah. Some people could have that in their yard, but they still may not necessarily feel comfortable being in the cellar while it's kicking off like that.
Very true.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Very true.
Because of the thought of being stuck in there.
Very true.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It's just a bit, you feel a little bit enclosed.
Yes.
Elevator vibes.
Whereas if you're outside, you feel like, okay, cool, like I can move somewhere.
I'm aware.
Yeah. But you know what though? Let's say like an earthquake or whatever. One thing that we're not taking into consideration, things can lick you from left, right and center, So you have when it starts shaking up the place and buildings are, especially in this country where a lot of the new builds are getting built so quickly and whatnot, they're not sturdy, If this place was ever to start shaking, you're going to fart.
Do you know one thing I've clocked here? Every time, because I always like to see what survives. I like information. So every time I used to watch these apocalypse films, and then I would look at things that would happen in war, the bathroom was always still there.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually so true.
So is there something to say that maybe...
the bathroom's a safe place.
The bathroom is a safe place. Maybe that's what we create the thing we've done out of. Things from a bathroom,
yeah.
And we might be safe because they accommodate for water.
Would you want to say that's mad.
They accommodate for explosions apparently.
Yeah.
I've seen these films. The bathroom's always safe.
The idea of everyone getting licked down and you're the only one that survives though. That's a mad thought to me. Everyone's licked down and it's just me.
Yeah, but then don't you want to see the world like that?
What do you mean? With nobody about?
I would want to for a little while. Because I can't imagine that I'll be able to survive in them situations for too long. I can't cook.
Yeah.
And then there's no one about, so Uber Eats ain't working.
Yeah, there you go.
So
you're done.
I'm soon dead anyway.
You're done.
So I might as well just go out seeing what's going on.
I think I brought this up here time ago, yeah, and I need to, do you know what? I'm going to come back another time. I'm going to look into it and I'm going to talk about it even more. But I remember watching something about a time, maybe you can try and find it, yeah. It happened somewhere in like the late 1800s, yeah, where like something happened within the universe where the electricity stopped working. Now, imagine back then, electricity was very marginal. Not much people had electricity like that anyway, yeah. But it literally just stopped working, all electrics. And it made me think, it's called something. It's called something.
Do you think it was going to happen with the internet at one point?
Yeah, I think I remember that there was a conversation about that. Yeah. But imagine all electricity just cut out. Again, it just happened. All electricity. What happens then?
If all electricity cuts out everywhere, obviously the people that can't survive are influencers. They have nothing to influence now.
No, but some can cook.
But they can't influence you to cook.
No, it wasn't a movie.
The mechanic of an influencer would be down. Which would be good. But the most difficult thing would be, how do we operate without electricity? How do I get on the train? You got
to forget about that.
That's done, innit?
Yeah, forget about the train.
So your Tesla's not working.
Yeah, you're done. You can drive for a little piece, but
can you?
After your petrol's done,
you're done. Because when you go to the petrol station, surely they need.
Once all of that's gone, that's out. That's done.
Not really.
Also, you can't even. Can you even use the petrol station without no electric? You can't. Well, I mean,
Why?
obviously,
I'm stealing the petrol now.
You can go and get the petrol from wherever it's at, but you can't use the pump.
But the man them don't care. You saw what happened when it was riots. So we don't have to worry about that. From my neck of the woods, unfortunately, we will find a way to get petrol. It might be the last petrol we get.
Yeah.
But we will find a way to get
petrol. Where you going?
I don't know. Have you seen Black Summer?
Nah.
Okay. Watch Black Summer, people. They found a way. Man was stealing petrol. Man was finding cars, crashing into them, and stealing petrol to survive when there were zombies about and bare things. So that's why I like these zombies.
So do you think if, say, electricity just cut out, do we start seeing the real of everything?
You won't start seeing the real. You'll start recognizing who people are when it's survival. Yes. Who looks out for themselves and who looks out for community. It's kind of like when people get cancelled. Who looks out for themselves, who looks out for community. And I'm all for it. You have to look out for yourself at times. I don't weaponize it, but at times when it's electricity's gone, I tell you what, Gen Z's fucked.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
You might be surprised. You might be.
I don't know. I have kids. Usually wouldn't be surprised, but I have kids. They run everything off convenience.
Oh, could you imagine the smell?
What do you mean?
All the food that got. I mean, obviously, I'm fucked. Because you know how I am with mold. Do you know how quick things are gonna start going off? That's a madness to me.
That's why you gotta come to my house.
Why? Because there's nothing in the yard.
I can't cook.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
There's nothing in the yard. Nothing smells.
What have you got in your fridge?
Bare incense.
What have you got? What have you got in your fridge?
What have I got now? In my fridge right now, I have bread.
Okay, that can go off. That's mad as well.
Yeah, but
bread is mad when it goes off as well.
But I don't mind. There's just bread. There's butter. There's basically the necessities to make cheese on toast. If
fucking it.
I hear it. Come on, just let's get through the morning. Yeah. Then there's loads of fruits.
Have you got egg?
No. Why are you dealing with the egg? You can't cook egg.
You can boil an egg.
I don't think you cook egg to be fair.
Exactly.
You can boil scramble an egg. You boil an egg. I've never. If you fry,
you can make an egg. You can make an omelette.
Sorry, if you get just a second. You're trying to kill me. You pause. I've never heard anyone say, "Let me go cook an egg today." I've never heard anyone say it.
Cook eggs.
I've never heard anyone say it.
I have.
Okay, sorry. I'm so glad I didn't grow up in your household. As we were saying now.
You've heard someone say they can make. You've heard someone say you can make omelette.
My household can cook.
It's just what you claim now because you're cooking eggs, burning water. What next, EA?
I don't boil eggs.
Big man, it's not.
I boil eggs. I boiled 4 eggs today.
That's good for you.
Have you scrambled egg before?
Yeah.
Have you fried an egg before?
Yes.
Have you ever cooked?
I've done bare things with eggs other than
cook.
Made an omelette.
Have you ever cooked an egg? Don't try and save him.
No.
There we go. So anyway, back to what's in my fridge. I have Prime.
Good.
And that's it. And just drinks, apple juice, and obviously the Henny that the man them
Henny as well.
Shout out.
What Henny's in the fridge?
Well, just one of them when it's open.
Wait, is that a thing?
For me.
Do people put Henny in the fridge?
What do you mean? I see people put Henny in the bottle. When you get it out of in the dance, you get it with the ice. And so I need to try and create a similar experience. We ain't got no bottles. We've got the bottles, but we ain't got the ice and the tray. But
what have you got in your freezer?
In the freezer.
You got nuggets in it.
I got ice. I got nuggets.
Yeah, there you
fish
go.
Fingers.
Fish fingers, yeah, there you go.
And then I've got the one fish that I thought about cooking and trying to make.
I left it. Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna cook it, I promise.
Yeah.
What happened to that fish pole? So that's my fridge, man. Pathetic. But you know what? At least nothing smells when the electricity goes.
Yeah. I hear it. Still.
There's power cuts in my area.
Yeah, you know that power cut in it. But it'd be interesting if one day that's gonna happen, but just maybe not in our lifetime. Serious? There's gonna be a time, there will be a time in human civilization where electricity cuts out, and that's gonna be a testing time.
I just think to myself, with all of this type of countries against each other, I always think, imagine if a country just found out ways to just switch off a certain man's power, or just destable man, or basically ruin one thing within the country, which means you couldn't use it no more, like the water supply. They just messed up the water supply. Now we can't use no water for all 2-3 months because another country's found a way to mess up the water supply, and we've got to try and find a way around it. Or, bro,
isn't that slightly COVID? Because what they're saying,
the whole world was affected by that. I'm talking about
one
everybody's
country.
cool.
Oh,
and one country saying,
says,
I'm attacking you, but instead of attacking you in a way where it's bombs and all of that, let's find ways to affect everyone's every day, every 24, like mess up their 24 hours. Like, imagine they messed up something which meant one place of work, no one wanted to go there. Imagine they were making scares in primary schools across the country.
Well, a bomb would do that.
And now all of a sudden, ain't no one going. I'm not sending my Pickney primary school. If you can't guarantee my Pickney safety at primary schools, and they do, now there's no primary schools. No one's going to.
Well, yeah, school shooters. I was going to say that school shootings. That do you know what? Yeah, school shootings. That's a good one actually. School shootings, depending on which side you lean on, because you know, obviously, you have people over there who really believe in the gun thing and was it the Second Amendment or whatever, right? So that's the part where your belief system has to be tested. Yeah. When it happens to your school with your kids there. You believe this is everyone's supposed to have their thing or whatnot. Okay, My kid's not going back to that. Right, but hold on, someone just said that they believe that, Kasha said that he's not going to send his kids to the school if that happens, yeah? But if you believe in the First or the Second Amendment, should you not be sending your kid back there? Because you believe in the right to bear arms. You shouldn't then just...
The kids come from that school, so something's going on over there that I don't want to be a part of. The kids usually are bullied, I've been bullied, and then they come back and all this rubbish.
And that's what I mean, why I say it's different. So you see when you use the example of like school shootings in America, the reason why I say it's different is one thing he's given you is the information available to hand. You might be able to preempt if you take a look at certain behaviour patterns across the country of the people within the school system that end up deploying that level of behaviour. But big man, if it's a whole other country and you don't know what they look like and you don't know what's going on, I'm not sending my shoot to any school. Because it's not just like an isolated situation where you got a particular type of individual that might not exist in another society. You're just saying, big man, we could attack any school across the country at any point you don't know. I'm talking Joker and Batman type shit. And then all of a sudden, a hospital's getting blown up. My kid's staying in my house. That's what I'm kind of afraid of in terms of wars going forward. Wars which make the convenience of the public difficult. Yeah. That creates a distinct panic, and then the people upstairs go, how the hell do we stop this? Yeah. Because it's happening to them. It's not like something that we've told them is potentially happening that we can... You can't tell me it's getting better because we are here dealing with it.
Yeah, that is a real smart way of war.
Brother.
As opposed to just going and saying, all right, let me go and do a bomb thing or whatever. Let me turn off something. Let me just turn off something. And now everyone is affected there. So what do you do now? How do we turn it back on? Huh?
There's rules to war. I know that sounds dumb.
No, I hear you.
I know that sounds dumb.
I hear you.
But there's rules.
You don't even, because Palestine.
But they don't.
Exactly.
So they don't see it as a war. We see it as a war.
Yeah, there you go. So, but that's the point. That's the point here, is that regardless of the rules, people are just playing the game however they want to play the game.
No, I get you. Your concept was country v country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And although me and you and Poe and Cash recognise Palestine as a country, Israel don't. So they're saying the rules of that don't exist. That's our land. So I'm saying I'm not with it, but I'm saying for them it's different to what we're saying. If UK...
No, I hear where you're coming from. A deeper argument for me is that they don't see it any differently, and my whole thing is if you give someone an inch, they'll end up in Jamaica
100%. Anyway. That's so exactly what I was going to say.
I see where you're coming from because it's not to alien what you're saying. What you're saying makes sense, but I'm more with Chuckie. Like that's an excuse. Yeah, we just want any reason. It's like, for example, when I cheated on my girl. As soon as I came home, she just wanted any excuse to bring up the conversation. So every time we done something, it was gearing towards that, and I wasn't, aware until I was outside.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Still there now.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Hey! Right. So what have we missed? Big news cycles. Where should we start?
Chuckie, I don't know.
Philly.
Oh, God.
Let's start there.
Okay.
Let's start with Philly. Big news. I was away. Was I? I think I was just going away or whatnot. Then heard this news about young Philly in Australia finding himself in a situation over there where he's been he's been charged, isn't it?
Yes,
He's been charged. How many counts? Is it 4? Someone said 8. Someone said 4.
I believe it's 4.
Yeah. 4 counts of, I think, 4 different 4 penetration counts, and then 1 was bodily harm.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah. One was did you say one? One was strangulation. Yeah, one was strangulation. One was some other thing or whatever. And it's a tricky one, this one, because, boy, as of right now, he can't come back to the country until they say potentially until the 19th of December. But even then, that doesn't necessarily mean that he can come back. I think all that means is that if I'm wrong, correct me. But when they go to the court, his lawyers or whatever will propose a certain thing, and then obviously if the trial starts, then he'll have to go back. But there's a big chance that in Australia, they take these things really seriously. There's a big chance that they may not let him leave until the whole thing is over. If he busts his case, then he can go home. If not, once the trial's there, if he's found guilty, he'll have to do jail time there. Then they'll deport him back. But he's not born in England, is he? He's Colombian. So they're very likely to deport him back to Colombia, which then means, I'm not sure what the connection between England and Australia is today or whatever, but it just opens up a whole bigger potential thing for him. But I don't know, man. I don't even really know what to say on it. I just think it's a really bad situation that he's in. And I think the one thing that I noticed when I was watching the, online and the conversations and whatnot, I'm going to be really honest. I think that nobody was necessarily there. They didn't see what happened. They know that there's this innocent until proven guilty thing or whatever. I'm not sure what that looks like, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think the unfortunate thing for him is that he doesn't have much good character references. There's, in this time of going through what he's going through, aside from naturally the people that you would probably expect, I don't necessarily need to say their names or whatnot. Maybe these guys will have some super good character references on him because they know him a certain way. But in general, his character references have always just been really, 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 really bad. And so now, in this, sometimes when you hear about these type of things happening, it can be quite split. Sometimes some people say, well, you know what, we ain't heard the other side. We ain't heard the other side. And then there will be another side that will turn around and say, especially maybe women, for example, who have been before in the past or whatnot, will turn around and they will just believe the woman because they not understand what they've been through. In this case, because of his character reference, because of the dealings that people have had with him personally, it is tainting his personality even more so in this situation. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I we'll see what happens in the end of it, but people expecting, I don't know, Chunks and whoever else to come out and actually talk about this whole thing right now is like, people have to pattern up a little bit. Of course they're not.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things I don't understand. I do understand, but I think, like, I agree with you, Chuckie. You shouldn't be expected. It doesn't make sense.
Right now.
No, in a sense of, some things don't make sense. Like, once you're able to look at it objectively and take your personal whatever out of it. So, for example, the people that are asking other people to speak on it in regards to the friends or people around him, we should take a look at them outside of just one situation and ask them, do they speak about this situations like this? If they don't, I don't understand why there's a level of expectation for them to talk about it. The second reason why I don't understand why there's that level of expectation to talk about it is purely because of the way that those businesses are set up. They're set up to talk to a market space which is not really reflective of them. It's just a market space which is extremely profitable. So therefore, they're naturally gonna have demands, and that market space naturally demands things off a products like Philly, a product like Chunks. They make demands which are not maybe to the way these lot are, but products like that within that space never have things to say about when situations like this manifest. This is not the first time, and it's not going to be the last time. So again, to put the expectancy on them to say something is wrong, because when you do have a product in that market space, you have to be careful about what you say and what you do, because you have the potential to lose it all. And everybody in that situation has responsibilities. So again, expecting them to say something when the market space they speak to is that sensitive where they could potentially lose so much is just a bit wrong as well.
I agree with that.
I think also in this situation, I begin to feel sorry for the likes of his mum. I feel sorry for the likes of his sister. Because come December 19th or January, when it's all concluded, or whenever it's all concluded, if he's innocent and he's proven to be innocent, he's lost a lot. He's lost a hell of a lot. And that will just be sad. Obviously, the other alternative situation that everybody is speaking about, I don't feel the need to chime in on it. I think he wouldn't ask my opinion about it. Would be no point. I am who I am. I've always made it very clear how I feel about certain situations. Irrespective of who the person is, and everyone's speaking about that side of it as well. So I don't feel the need to chime in and speak about if he's guilty, what should happen and all of that. There is enough people having that conversation, and that's cool. The conversation I want to have about this situation is just an alternative voice, and I just feel like I do feel sorry for his family members around him, because something that supported them. You're talking about the fact that he said that he retired his mum. Like I said, if he is guilty, okay, fair enough. You can have what you got to say about young Philly, but like that responsibility of him looking after his family, whether it's it's got nothing to do with me, but I can still feel a little bit of that's sad, bro. Like, who's gonna be able to support that situation or support his sister? They may have things in place, I don't know, but it's still a difficult situation for a mum to now type in her son's tag name across all social media platforms and just see this type of stuff. There are innocent,
especially as well, when it's like it's nuanced in it, because your son a certain way, but
she's finding out bare different realities that she wasn't unaware of.
There you go.
I reckon she would have much preferred to find it out in the comfort of her own home, having a conversation with her son.
Did though. Do you know what? I think when this all came to light, that's just when we all heard about it. I think that was probably a thing that was brewing for a little while. I don't know how long a little while is. Could be a couple of days, a day before, a few days, whatever. She probably would have heard about it prior to that still. They would have known about that still.
Well, yeah, man. So, I don't know. We know as much as everybody else knows, to be fair. I can speak for myself. I imagine you're in the same situation.
Yeah.
And man, just have to just see what happens. It's sad on both sides. It's sad for the victims if it turns out that it was true. It's sad for the victims. They've got, families, they've got lives that they're living that are potentially extremely affected by the nature of this situation. If it turns out to be, it wasn't true, I feel sorry for the fact that, this has all had to happen and it's not true. So both sides, no matter what, there is no winner. There's nothing to be happy about for the end of it. It's just a very, very sad situation, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think as well, the only way, because of his character references that you would lean to, I think even if he was in his best case scenario, in his super best case scenario that he was actually innocent in this, he's naturally still guilty by public opinion. Public opinion will still 100%. Look at it that way. But also on top of that, I think the only way, and brands are probably still not going to want to touch him, because from what it sounds like is there's been discrepancies in and amongst that anyway. If you speak to some people that work within the brands or whatnot, I think like he's a very super talented guy. So some people will put up with talent to a degree, but the moment that you are in a mad pickle will be the moment that these brands will be very quick to just withdraw, which is one of the reasons why, I think a conversation that you've always led to having, not just here, but even outside, I've seen you having this conversation with content creators, is about having your own thing. Because one day there's going to become a time where these brands are not necessarily going to be there. And where is your home? What does your home look like? 100%. I think you even had that conversation with them.
I had that conversation with Chunks and Philly in my living room with Vuj very early. And I said to them, where's your home? Where's your market space? Because my biggest problem with working with brands is don't work with brands. Of course, you got to work with that capital to increase your whatever you're doing. You need that capital. Do you know where I'm coming from? You need that brand association. It's very, very good for your brand.
Yeah.
But my problem is the market that they have is not your market. So when you go over there, it should be for short periods of time, for good amounts of money to increase the value of what you're doing, so you can then run off with whatever you're doing, and the next time you get another good opportunity which is fits with your narrative, boom, integrate it into your existing plans. My biggest problem with creatives, my biggest problem with everybody is they don't really have a plan. Their whole plan is to get a brand deal, and then after they get that, their whole product and their whole placement is to consistently get brand deals. And I'm saying that affects your marketplace, because now your marketplace is in a space that it was never in to start off with, and the demands of this market are completely different to the demands that you know naturally.
100.
It's like when I used to see Harry Pinero no longer on the stairs. That's your direct market that you know what they want, you know what they love, you probably know what they eat for breakfast, what music they listen to. That's such incredible information to have about your market space. Now, for you to go to a market space which just has loads of different polarized characters from all different types of spaces, for you to try and monitor that level of information, it's pointless. You're better off going over there with all your niggas and all your people and saying, this is how we're going to regulate it whilst I'm here. And when I go, you go back to regular broadcasting. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Kendrick does it very well. He brings a massive core audience to wherever he's going, and he can be on stage talking about slavery, whatever the hell he wants. Your average artist can't do that because their market space is a bag of people in Colchester as well as bag of people in Brixton, and they don't want to hear about black oppression. And that's all I'm saying. Keep it real,
do you know what?
people.
Here when you say that, sorry, I don't want to divert from my point quickly, but here when you say that, it does seem like the one person who does have that done quite well is Nico, though, because Nico's
the greatest.
Yeah, he obviously does what he wants to do when he's ready to do that. But I think that, like, I could be wrong in saying this, by the way. This might be wrong information, but I'm just saying it anyway. Once that brand let go of my man, you know, once JD let go of Tim, from what I believe, they pay Nico essentially to come in to do the brand stuff, whatever. He brings in all of his guys, so ultimately they're the ones who's getting the peas and whatnot. You know, they create whatever things that they're doing over there, all the little games and whatever else, yeah. But outside of that, where people really know and fuck with Nico is when he's over here doing what he's doing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's why I know him. I think Nico is a prime example of how you create your own market space, because all the information of the deliverables, what they want, what they do, it's all accessible to you. You're not taking your product into a new market space and not getting access to that information and knowing who they are, because that potentially has, if it goes wrong, you are a slave to that business because they now have your biggest market share. So therefore, you have to do whatever they say in order for you to stay relevant. Whereas if you built your own market space, they're to the mercy of you. You go over there too early, you're to the mercy of them. So Nico's a prime example of doing that. And in music, a prime example is always Wiley. As much as you had the Ice Cream Girl on the road, you had tunnel visions, which means that his market of people like me are still catered to, because you've got songs like Where's My Brother, and we all have stories about, is it about Dizzy Rascal? All of those stories that's what happens in culture. Every Sunday you have rice and peas and chicken. No one knows why, but it's just part of a running narrative, a story that happens forever. That doesn't really happen in commercialized culture. Things stay around for a shorter period of time, but you need it because it's a big peak. So you need to get the balance correct. And a lot of these products speak to them not getting the balance correct, Chuckie.
Yeah. Well, in a nutshell, I think the point I was making more so is that in his absolute best case scenario, the only way that I, for now, see light for him is if he comes out of this, he busts his cases and he countersues. Yeah. Because he knows exactly what's happening. He countersues. If that doesn't happen, then I think he's going to find himself in a very difficult...
If he busts his case and that girl has to make a statement and say sorry, that's translation to that world of an apology. That's a translation 100%. For that world. It's not the translation for the man them.
Yeah.
We don't care. Once we've made up our mind, we've made up our mind.
Yeah.
But within that world and that market space, if they've had to go and do a statement, as long as you haven't done 10, like Marcus Rashford, even though I love him, you stay within the, all right, fair enough, we'll accept this apology this time. You've done wrong. And they kind of like go, all right, well, guess Young Philly's not bad. And then they can find a slow process to integrate him back into what he's doing, because it's proven that he's not the bad guy. But obviously then what you'll say is what you said earlier, is the only thing that's bad is now the stigma that was attached to him off the back of the allegation, or the allegations, and then all the things that everyone else said. It just makes it from a distance look like it has some truth. Not to say it does have truth. I have no clue what happened in Australia. I don't have a fucking clue. But what I'm saying to you, from distance, you can understand why someone would jump to the conclusion and say, I don't want to associate myself with this. Do you know what I'm saying? Away from everything. So,
and then obviously in his worst case scenario, then that's just going to be what that is, isn't it? That's jail and whatnot. But I think that would then open up another conversation about sometimes when people have power and influence, what they do with that power and influence, and sometimes some people get into a certain point within their career, not to say this has happened with him. I'm just opening this up wide now, yeah. Why for that quickly? But because that's mad. I just wanted to get that there quickly, yeah. But people get into a certain point within their life and then almost feeling like the world is theirs until something happens, which makes you, which reminds you, it isn't all yours, and it can be taken away from you very quickly if you make a mad misstep. But do you know what? I do want to park this aside quickly, yeah, because I want to park that to bring in something else that's sort of tied in, but nothing to do with that. Go with me here. I do also think, yeah, like I'm speaking for the mandem now, yeah. The mandem need to go in a little bit with more universal friendly sex packages. Let me land. You see when you go KFC, what's the standard meal? It's 2 pieces of chicken, chips, whatever else in it, yeah? Wait though. If this is the first time you're going there, you can't go there with number 10 and then you're hitting them with all kinds of... Sometimes you got a thing, then we can negotiate all of the other bits and pieces. Do you get what I'm saying? If you are going in with these wild packages, mad early off the rip, you might find yourself in a big pickle in this day and age. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
No, Chuckie, what you're saying... This is the one thing I'm going to say to you.
Man are just skipping numbers and going to number 10. And I'm saying, hold on, wait 1 second. We just need the kernel meal to start off with.
Now, come with me here. Pause.
Right.
So, I'm going to say, I see fully where you're coming from, but I can expand that conversation. I think, I'm not saying in every case, if you have a bit of narcissism to you, which spreads across everything you do, just so it's all sprinkly.
Yeah.
And you don't have the ability to just look at things from a 50-50 Lamar standpoint. Shout out MPK, they did have R&B singers with Payne and Bear Taylor. Right then. Nice over there. If you don't have the capacity to just look at things from someone else's perspective, and it's always about you and all about you, and that's spread across everything you do, from work, from your life, I think you have an issue. I think you do end up going into the bedroom and asking for number 10 because the equivalent...
Taking number 10.
And I think because the equivalent in everything else you do is by the standards of what you want. You don't even know anything different outside of that frame of mind. I want this, I want this. If I can't see any example, or at least couple, just like 2, where you have a compromise, I begin to wonder, when do you just think about the other side, big man?
Yeah.
Because I see when you think about the other side, when you manipulate thought to make them think you're thinking about the other side, but you got an agenda.
Yes.
So as long as you get there, you don't
As long as you get number 10, now you don't give a shit.
You don't give a damn. I've seen them brothers as well.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Ones. You know them
I'm
sneaky
just trying to buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
All kinds of deals off the rip. Yeah,
I just think a lot of brothers...
The normal, you know what? I just think you just have to be careful of the packages, the package deals that you're going in with on the early outsets. You have to be mindful of that. Also, do you know what you have to be mindful of? Do you know you have to be mindful of as well, yeah? Is that when you have the number 1 meal or whatever, understand that this could be all there for the eating. But you could say or do something that changes the atmosphere completely in the room.
Yes.
Now, all of a sudden, this isn't so much for the eating anymore. You got to be very mindful of that. Because if you got somebody, let's just like be more direct now. If I bring someone back to my place or whatever it may be, yeah, and I've changed the whole atmosphere. She's come because we've got a mutual understanding that we're about to get busy now. But the whole atmosphere in here changes. Her perception of what's going on can change also.
100.
And that doesn't necessarily mean now that what was happening from the offset is what can happen right now. And that can cause a level of uncomfortability, which then causes problems afterwards.
Chuckie, niggas don't understand. Until you know, you're just accumulating information.
Yes.
That's all you're doing. So all this preempt, I'm going to do this and do that. Big man, you don't know. You don't know. The car might break down on the way to the restaurant. You don't know what's going to happen. Just say, best possible case. And most importantly, just say what I like to say, we're running with the vibe. If that's where the vibe takes me,
yes,
I'm swimming.
Right then.
But if the stride don't go over there, big man, I'm putting on my life jacket and I'm getting out.
Gone.
You gotta be safe.
To bits.
You gotta be safe.
Absolutely.
Man, them don't want to be safe no more. They're just going over there and saying, no matter what, there could be sharks, piranhas, everything. I want to swim. Big man, the water's dangerous.
Yes.
Take the life jacket.
There you go. I'm telling you. I'm with you. Okay. Outside of that now. Hey, you mentioned something in the group here that I was really thinking. On God's honest truth, I'm telling you, I was thinking
really?
this. You just randomly came in the Hcpod group, and I'm just waiting for it. And then you mentioned YJ.
Yes.
And it was something that I was thinking, and I remember specifically being traveling somewhere and just going on the internet, and I was just thinking beneath the surface. And the question I asked myself was, which was the same question you put in the group, was, are people laughing with him or are they laughing at him? And I thought that was I personally think there's a conversation to be had in this a little bit. Because in my mind, yeah, when I was watching what was going on, at first, when I kept seeing him on the internet floating around or whatever, yeah, I wasn't really paying too much attention to what was going on, because I just made an educated guess quite quickly that it probably wasn't for me. It's more for the youth, them, and whatever else and that, yeah. And so sometimes I might see a little bit of what's going on, understand that there's an element of people within our scene and culture that is gravitating to something. I might look into it a little bit, but outside of that, after a while, it's not for me. I'm a big man. You get what I'm saying? So I keep it stepping. But when I was looking at this, I think there was one video in particular where I see him with an artist, and they were dancing together and whatnot, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? Are they doing this because they think that he's cold, or are they doing it because it's just for something else? And this is where my mind sort of led to with it, yeah. And which is what I said in the group. On one side, sex sells. So you know that you can have somebody that will like cleavage, body, baby oil, whatever else, and they go outside, and it's like, you look at that, and this is the thing that can maybe lead you to the talent, or it just might lead you to just looking at them. 100. But that's your entry point. Yeah. You look at that and you say, okay, cool, I'm over here now for whatever reason, yeah. I also think that is the same to be said about, and I want to be really respectful, because I don't want to be disrespectful to him, yeah. But I also think that the same can be said in some way where somebody may seem as though or come across like alternatively different. That's probably the better way of saying it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like somebody that looks alternatively...
You're being kind. You can't wait till I intervene, but you're kind.
Yeah, I have to. But yeah, you could... anyway.
You do.
All right, let me just do my thing, yeah? So the same can be said for that. So when I'm seeing this, I'm like, okay, in my mind, I feel like that this is a big part of it. I feel like the way that he comes across and the way that this thing is what is people's entry points here, yeah? Now, for me, my main thing was, when I'm seeing this guy, I understand it. This is not necessarily a parody act, but this is just something that has just popped up, especially at a time where the industry is in a really, really shit place, by the way. This industry is in a terrible, terrible place. But something has popped up. It's a viral moment. Everyone wants to be a part of it and whatnot. And I'm saying to myself, okay, cool. Is there a right or wrong way to deal with something like this? That's my first question. Secondly, it seems as though, I get it, the labels and everyone's interested now, like there's all of these different types of conversations happening. Does he have the right people around him? Because in this game, you have what? If you're lucky, you get 2 years in this thing. If you're lucky, you get 2 years in it. Has he got the right people around him? Are these people looking after his finances? Because, you know, if you've got somebody outside, and people are either subconsciously laughing at him or they're looking at him from a place of this is just like a parody thing. What is in place to make sure that he is comfortable and he is stable and he is looked after? Because essentially he comes from where we come from. I'm probably a little bit more delicate to those type of things because there's a part of me that doesn't like to see somebody being taken advantage of in this context. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%. Do you know what? I was going to be harsh, then you made me go left again. So I'm going to be kind, and then I'm going to be harsh, because it feels right. Crop circle, shout him out.
To be.
Chucks. Everything that becomes polarized in life has an existence in reality. Everything. Or it's just so unique, everyone gravitates towards it. So, the way we consumed this version, in my mind, it's not facts, it's just my interpretation. The way we interpreted this level of content back in the day was David Vianic, pretending to be a Polish or whatever it was, builder making music. Or Don't Jealous Me, pretending to be shipped away by immigration. So they had a parody of something that everybody was aware was a joke, and we watched it and we consumed it and we laughed, but everybody knew what it was. No one was in confusion. Life has slowly become the Truman Show. And the reasons why life has become the Truman Show is because life is no longer about your peak being talent. Your peak is a social event to do with that person's life. So after 8 or 9 different peaks and it's all about your life, all of a sudden the way we consume content globally now is we're fucking nosy. So you can't give us a parody act no more because there's enough information to know what the real version of that looks like. So now you need to give us something as close to reality as possible in order for it to be this. Now, where's the first time I saw something like this happening? Because Michael Dapper done what he done, and after that, there hasn't really been successful interpretations of that afterwards. Not to say people haven't done it, but not as like
that was the last one.
Was the peak. That's the last one. Now we actually need to go and get somebody that is actually that. That's what we need to go and get. And ignorantly make them feel like there's something else, exhaust it for as long the joke is long, like running for, and then we bust out. The reasons why I'm upset is because these people are coming from our culture. So the first one that I saw was Why You Coming Fast? Now, I didn't really understand the proximity of what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
So I loved Gasworks because what Gasworks done was you put Biscuit there, and because the internet polarizes this individual, which is meant to do because it's about stupidity, but the culture behind it no longer becomes important because there's loads of numbers. Somebody needs to go, this is bullshit. And that was the good thing about Gasworks. We're not going to try and dissect it and be nice. This is bullshit, my guy. You can't touch your mum's bum. We don't care if you get 1 million views tomorrow. You can't touch your mum's bum. We're not normalizing this. Not where we're from. Boom. It puts that to bed. Now we understand it's a joke. Why You Coming Fast was interesting to me because I didn't really understand what was going on, but I knew it wasn't going to be around for a long period of time because it's just exciting to see that character from the community that we can all relate to, but then eventually we're just going to get bored of seeing that character so consistently because we don't see him that consistently within life. It's just the one-off occasion we have a joke. This individual, when you look at him, you may know someone like that within your life.
Oh, yeah.
And he is not a parody. This is who he is.
Yeah.
So because he's made a viral moment, all they're doing is attaching this guy to anything that gives him a market space. They don't even care who's in the market space. They'll attach him to fucking a New York rapper today. 3-4 weeks ago, it's a couple of bloody OnlyFans girls that's out here naked doing whatever they're doing. The week before that is Grime Daily. You're just getting loads of different market spaces that don't even get along in the same room to support this guy. And eventually they're going to go, we don't want this product no more. And then he's going to be, Why Are You Coming Fast on fucking social media complaining that he's been dropped out. Because he's clearly been manipulated to be this point because I've not seen a product that operates like this that lives so long. Eventually they all die off because you're not exhausting talent. You're exhausting the parody. You're exhausting the gimmick. Little Man, for example, I remember like Little Man was going off and it was doing well and so on and so forth. It's not the case now. And little man's bloody talented. He's funny, bro.
He's in jail though, or is he back out? He's out now.
I'm not quite sure what he's doing now. But do you understand where I'm coming from? My point being, anyway, is with these situations there, I liked things like Gasworks because it kind of got people to be honest and see if they're laughing at man or if they're laughing with man. And as far as I'm concerned, that YJ product is in a building that has an obligation to keep lights on. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But they need to make money. So if something's been polarized and they have the opportunity to exploit it to make money, they're just doing what they've always done.
They're doing the business. They're operating in business mode. And that's why I'm saying, you know what? A part of me is like, I'm taking it away from the business mode because I understand that the business is going to do what it's going to do. But I'm like, whoever is next to him, I hope that they're putting him in a position to be able to be comfortable once this is done, and not to just leave him in the lurch like what you kind of see tends to happen.
But sorry to cut you. What leads you to believe they are doing that? Because
nothing, bro. But you know what? Because I wanted to ask one question as well. Yeah. So I went on his TikTok today, and I saw him. He was at Capital Extra, and he was like, so there was a signpost by like Capital Extra, and you know, like naturally when people come to any radio station, who does this really well? She's that. How can I forget her name? She's that Kiss black girl. What's her name? Henry. Sorry.
Wow. Shout out Henry.
Sorry.
Best.
Henry does this really well. She has guests over, whatever, and then like she'll do like a viral TikTok with them, and it's quite fun. Yeah. And she's really good. She's bubbly. Like that's her thing. Yeah. When I saw him at Capital Extra, I see him. He's by the signpost of Capital Extra, and he's essentially just doing the tune by himself. He looks tired, to be honest with you. And then it's just tagged as Capital Extra. That's fine. But because of the gravity of what's happening, how much people are flocking to what he's doing because having a viral moment or whatnot, to me, it speaks to just the drainage. Do you get what I'm saying? It speaks to the drainage.
And the reason why I say it speaks to it is because, like, again, when I take a look at where he's come from one market space, and now he's being exploited in another market space. But he hasn't done his due diligence in our market space because we wouldn't accept this for so long. But he will get accepted in the other market space and he can make money. But there is still no longevity. So my whole thing is, like Chuckie said, what are you doing with him afterwards to sustain the amount of finance that he might have and so on and so forth? Because that Why You Coming Fast guy was on social media moaning. Like most of these individuals. They all have to have life peaks in order to be popular, or they need to associate themselves with ready-made products so they can go, he must be successful, he's standing there. And it's like, nah, because J Hus is popular because he just leaked his album, and all of a sudden his peak is his musical talent, or his peak is his real life that is mad real. Not they have to create moments or they have to go to ready-made products. That makes me look like I look at products like that and go, you are panicking. You are 100% panicking. Because Kendrick don't be doing that stuff. Sorry to use Kendrick as an example.
Yeah, they're complete.
But no, but I mean in terms of a product that serves its audience.
Yeah.
Any other product. Guns N' Roses probably don't do that stuff. There's probably loads of rock bands that I don't know, but when they go and do their thing, sold out 15,000, 20,000 because they know how to cater to their market space. But if you cater to the polarized market space where everyone's in, you've got to compromise so much that when it goes wrong, you ain't got no market space to go back to, bro.
Okay, let me play Angel's advocate quickly though.
Come on.
If now, let's say for him, he had another video before. I'm not sure how many years ago this was, but he was doing a freestyle in central London and he just forgot the bars and it was just a mess. Yeah. And then he's come back a few years later or a year later, whatever it may be. And now this is the moment that's being had. Yeah. Ultimately, the first part of him being risen up essentially has come from people from where we come from. Yeah. It's not just being like someone's just taken him and just put him somewhere and all of a sudden it's got big. He's done this. This is something that's happened. He's just done it and people have gravitated to it for whatever reason they've gravitated to it for. Yeah. Now, isn't there a space to say, look, because of that, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? He's going to get one good year. Let's just put him in all of the positions that we can to get as much as we can out of this, especially financially. So that once it's all over with, because it may not last, there's a good chance it's not going to last, at least then he's rinsed the game, in this business, you're useless if you can't. What's the word? If you can't be used, you're useless. Something like that. Yeah. He's used the game the same way the game's used him. He's put himself in a good situation. He could just sit there and just laugh at the top of the hills because whoever it is that is around him, and him in particular, understands the position that he is in. He's not trying to be a Kendrick. He's not trying to be a Dave. He's not trying to be.
I'm talking to market space, because Jackass has got a market space that no one can infiltrate. I'm talking about doing what you're doing, but speaking to a group of people consistently that understand. Not speaking to a polarized group of people that just care what's popular, because they're not loyal. They don't give a shit, bro.
But
it's
maybe he's not
to the guy that just goes to the club, sees this girl this week, and goes to the club, sees the next girl next week. Like, don't go to the club 3 weeks later and be like, he spoke to me 2 weeks ago. He didn't care 2 weeks ago. He's not gonna care now, bro. These people just like what's hot for the moment, and the people that decided that you were hot for the moment are not gonna support you in like 2 months' time, because you don't give anything back to them. So then how is this going to be a successful product moving forward? If it's not, make sure that you have businesses and things for him sorted out afterwards, so he can make residual income, so at least he's not broke off the back of this, because that's a strong possibility. Another argument I always say I don't understand is when you do have a business like this, which I believe is a terrible business to have. I'm going to be popular for 2 years and after that I'll figure it out. Terrible business. Off the back of that, if you started living to a life financially living to a place that you can't sustain, but you still live within it, by the third year, what are you doing, bro? You're doing some clown shit to make this money, bro. So
what if the point I'm
that's
making
why I
is
don't like this stuff.
Everything of what you're saying? What if does it change anything if they already know?
No, they do already know. That's my problem. There needs to be a plan in place. This guy is probably no older than 30 years old. And if you make a lot of money before 30, you've got a lot of time to waste it. And if you make a lot of money at 50, you don't have that much time to waste it. So essentially, making a lot of money later on in your life is probably best practice than making a lot of money short period in your life.
Yeah.
So if you take a look at what he's doing with his life, I don't know. But this is probably the biggest peak he's had in his whole entire life. And if he has got no opportunity to have some capital at the end of it, that he's able to invest in an area that he can sustain as a man, not that someone can use him to do, then we've wasted our time even putting him in the position, because he's just become a parody act for everyone for 2-3 years, and then in 4 years time, no one gives a damn. He's still trying to do some freestyle videos like, you're not popular no more. Like, that's not meant to be our culture, bro.
That's my overall point, by the way.
No, of course, I know, but I'm saying to you, judging by the products of the past, do you believe his thing will be any different?
We'll see. But my point...
I'm asking you to make a stand. Just make a point. I'm not asking you to get some metal in your bum. I'm asking you to get off the fence and just say, by the things that you've seen in the past, in this proximity, we can all get it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Of course.
Do you believe that has the capacity to be successful the way they probably believe it does now, even though they don't? Well, does it have any longevity is what I'm asking, sorry.
No, of course it doesn't have any longevity.
So make sure
but the point I'm making is that what if they already know and this is part of the plan?
I hope it is.
That's the point I'm asking. So it's like, you know what? Yeah, cool. We understand what this is. We understand how this whole thing can plan out. So whoever is a part of that.
But you can't say that, Chuckie. There's too much different people. This is what I keep saying. When you are giving your product to a market space that has a demographic that you don't know, let me just be clear.
A manager. Let me just say, a manager.
Yeah.
So let's say the manager's his brethren. Let's say, I don't know who the manager is. I don't know who these people are. But that's what I mean. I mean, like, when I say the people that are part of it, I'm not talking about a label. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that are super close knit in this. Let's just say it's Cash. Let's say, sorry, bro. But let's just say in this situation that, and it's me and you that are managing this situation. Yeah. I'm talking about this. If they already have an understanding that, we've studied the game, we understand what the behavior patterns when this type of thing arises. This is what we need to do to get the most out of this game. And once we do that, this is where we can put ourselves. At the end of it, they're laughing because they understand the business.
Yeah,
that's the point.
Yeah.
Huh?
Mentally, where could he end up?
Mentally, where could he end up? In a peaceful place where the game is still shit, but he got what he needed to get out of the game.
But I just don't, personally, me...
From what we've seen, I understand that
From what I've seen...
In living this life and seeing what we've seen, we usually see the same results all of the time. So that's why I get where you're coming from. But though, because we've seen what we've seen, I'm just throwing this out there, because we've seen what we've seen, there are some individuals that have seen what we've seen and said, we know this game, we understand this game, this is what we need to do.
I genuinely
We've got the information now.
Chuckie, I have no faith in their team. And I don't know their team. And this is a bit harsh for me to say. I have no faith in their team. I have faith that they will make as much money that they need to make. But after that, I have no faith that he'll be taken care of moving forward. I have faith if they see this, they want to prove me wrong. But I have no faith if they don't see this, that it changes moving forward. I'm sorry. I don't. Nothing I've seen gives me any sense that they care about the longevity of this project. I just see somebody exhausting a project for all it can be worth right now, probably only to move on to the next type of project and use this as a template to say, I made this successful. No, you didn't. Culture raised it to a point where it can be important. You exhausted it for what it was worth and kept it moving. That's the things I'm upset about personally.
Yeah, I don't particularly
like, look at the title of that song. What's the name of the song?
No, did he?
So that means this guy who is being polarized by the culture and then taken to the commercial market, in order to stay there, the title of his song is something that's happening globally right now. Like, bro, this is not all by accident. This is all intentional things in order to keep this product as long as they can in this space so they can make as much money out of it as possible.
But that
this
could
is bad, bro.
No, but hear what I'm saying. Wait, 1 second, yeah. It's bad, but then also it could be smart. It depends on what side of the coin you're looking at. If you have the plan, you understand this is what's happening right now. This is what we need to do. This is how we stay in it a little bit longer. Boom. Once we get this, we do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the point, this is why I have to add some level of positivity to it, is because what you've said is we have the information now. We have the information. So people can do better. At one point, people couldn't do better because we didn't have the information. So you can't, like, with some of them... With some of them, you can't look at them with this in the same vein because we have the info. I hate that, by the way. Don't put it on the screen. I hate that.
So then, what? This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't like an argument when you have so much information.
I don't know though,
bro. Chuckie, do you know what? You're right. I don't know, but I don't say I don't. I have to lean somewhere because there's too much. Do you know why?
You're always saying I don't know,
Chuckie. Of course, but I have to lean somewhere because there's too much info. There's not like there's a little bit of info. There's so much information. I just go, you're taking a piss out of my man. You're slightly taking a piss out of my man. Just so you lot all can make your money, get paid, get your promotion in 4 years' time. You're taking a piss out of my man. This is the culture I'm a part of, and I've seen this story happen so many times. And like I said, you're probably going to hear this and get upset and feel like you have to change your mind. I don't care.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're great people, you know, but everybody, and I don't.
It's a business at the end of the day.
It's a business. I don't.
So some people are gonna play the game a certain way, and some people are gonna play it a different way. The point, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. The point that I'm making is that it's one side of it, and the other side of it is that this actually could be a part of a plan that they all understand and know, and they're working towards. So on one side, this thing here doesn't fall in a place where you turn around and say, you know what, it was all right. It's either really bad or it was really smart. Because the same thing that you say here, you can say it on the other side, you just can't say it in the middle. There isn't a middle ground with it. It's either really, really bad, what's happening, or it's really smart. And at the end of it, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I do understand what you're saying is that, like, we've seen examples of this before, and usually this is what we end up seeing. But we'll see though.
Because Chuckie, sorry to keep cutting you. You can polarize your products, you know. That's not my issue. You can associate yourself with products and brands. I want everyone to do that. Let's go get this money, my bro. But when it's every polarized brand on the planet that you feel you can make numerical advantages of, I just question all integrity of the brand, because even some things in polarized positions have a level of integrity. I can go, all right, fair enough. I see why they're making that move. Like, there are so many moves I just don't understand. I'm just like, rah.
But the smart move is, watch this though.
Go on.
The smart move, if you understand the game, is that, cool, we sit down in a private room and we have this conversation. In this, it looks like, we can make this look like it has no integrity. This is what we need to do to go and get this bread and to put ourselves and put you in a position for you to be X, Y, and Z. We just got to take these steps. If this is what it looks like, this is what it looks like.
Chuckie, you're making it too black and white. It's not that black and white, guy. It's not. It's his business. It's
You're a man who
definitely
loves black and white, you know.
Huh?
You're a man who loves black and white. I'm the one.
No,
I'm,
not with
I'm
this.
the grey area. I'm the grey area.
I'm a grey area situation where you don't have it. There's so much information. Look, bro.
I can't be grey. I can't be
This
black
is
and white
in
today.
business. You can't be black and white in business when I'm working with 3 other people. I can be black and
Well,
white in
you
my
signed it.
life. I can say you can't do this to me. But in terms of a business, like there's so much people involved. I wouldn't advise you be black and white. And I just think this situation here, personally, from the moves that you've made, unless it's all just to get capital to invest in something outside of where you are
That's
right
my
now,
point.
there's no
That's
way
my
you can
point.
convince me,
Bro.
this makes sense.
But bro, it's not about convincing you.
No,
I'm just saying that
No, not
could be
you.
it. Yeah.
Them. You don't have to convince me
I
nothing.
know.
I
But
already don't believe you.
I'm
It's not them.
I'm bringing the point to the table that that could be the thing. That's all.
Doubt it.
Whether you agree with it or not, or whether I agree with it or not, or whether we could speculate on whether that is what they're trying to do or not. But I'm just saying that, like, we have enough information to know that there could be people out there that can make this a situation for him. So on one
That's
side, the
all
way that
I
we look,
hope.
yeah, and that's my overall
That's
point.
all I hope. Because you know one thing I will say, there's a lot of
That's
people,
my overall
There's
point.
a lot of people making money out of this situation, and years later we will never know they were even associated with it. Whereas he is the face of it all. So if it all goes to shit tomorrow, they don't give a fuck. They probably got brand relationships and they probably got closer with certain brands that they've ever got in their whole entire life. And I'm not here to weaponize that and say that's selfish.
No.
But if that is the reasons why you're building these relationships, make sure you take care of him. So in 7 years' time, when you see him out, he's still blinging and he's taking care of his family. Don't allow this one thing that you've
That's my
done
point.
to exploit. But like I said, why are you coming fast? He's slowed down, big man.
That's my point.
He's slowed
so
down.
also it's understanding how tax works as well. Because
Biscuits
obviously,
also crumbs now, by the way.
Huh?
I'm just saying, start.
what did you say?
Nothing.
You say biscuits is crumbs now. Yeah,
Brother,
man. I
take
would
care,
personally,
man.
I would just love to see it. And sometimes, like, on my TikTok, it comes up on my algorithm sometimes where a person will go up to a guy, like, how did you make your money? And then they turn around and they say some shit like, oh, well, you know what? I did this, I signed that, whatever. It didn't work out too well, whatever. But I got this bread, I invested in this, I did that, did this, I own this, I own that, I own this, and this is where I am now. Yeah, it kickstarted them to do that. And I'm like, now we have enough information. Why this tickled him, you know? We got enough information for that to happen. So if it doesn't happen, it looks extra bad in my eyes. But ultimately, we will see.
If there was say it was a massive company that had loads of different successful projects prior, and then this was just one of many of them, then maybe I'd be like, all right, fair enough. But I'm not know for sure. If this
Now,
is
you
the
don't have
one
to be a
thing-
massive company. If it's me, I have the information.
Yeah,
I
but
know
the
I could do
information
it.
you have is
I could do
limited.
it.
All you have is your ignorant perception of what will work, the information that you
100%.
gain, but then that's
And my
not,
resources.
but that's not enough.
And my resources.
Chuckie, one thing I always say is, this is what I would say to every manager on planet Earth that's looking after talent. You are not managing his career, you're managing his life. And I'll leave
100%.
it at that. So if you just care about his career, I think you should walk away from that person. I understand if you work in the proximity of 4 walls that don't belong to that person, why you just care about his career. But if you genuinely care about this talent, you are not managing his career, you are managing his life. His vulnerability is his art that he hasn't even figured out fully himself, and you are exploiting that for financial gain. So take care of
That's
his
if
life.
they are doing that.
No,
though.
but everyone does that. We all
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you, but if you're willing to do that, the exchange has to be keep him safe moving forward.
100. That
And
is.
if you're not willing
Nobody
to do
disagree.
that-
Everyone. This is the whole point of. That's how I
Bro.
started. That's how I started this whole thing. All I'm saying is that on the side of the negativity is actually the side of it being really smart. It's just about what ends up happening at the end. Did you choose the red pill or the blue pill? Yeah, you already. Oh, Conan's back outside.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Conan's back outside. Wait, are they actually dropping something? Because I'm sure I came here and I told you time ago. It must have been like 2 years ago. These lot said they was dropping something in December and it never came. So is this happening now? Is Krypton Conan actually going to be outside? That's the question.
I like that.
Does it look like it?
I don't know. Because they confused us last time. They told you something, you came here, you told me, and 2 years later, he just went Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I'm happy he went.
Yeah, so
We
so
finally
am I.
got the video, and you
Yeah,
know
that
what
was
I'm
actually
saying?
nice seeing him sitting there by his dad's thing as well. That was nice.
Right at the
nice.
end, and
Nice
I'm
shot.
like that he made an effort. He
Yeah.
went to people, linked them, they had listened to the song. I like the fact that you're making an effort.
What are they doing? Are they testing the temperature? Is that what's happening? Because the climate is quite different from when it was
Yeah,
last
maybe
outside a
that's-
bit.
yeah.
Do you reckon they're testing the temperature?
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, man. But I just like a level of, because we were discussing it. Yeah, like I love the new freestyle. I won't lie to you.
it's hard.
I love how cool he is. But me and my boy were discussing like last night in LA, and when he came back that time, there was an element of passion that he had, and I like this cool version of Konan. I do. But I want a bit of passion. I know. That's your thing. 100%. I like when I know you've left it all on the field. Gattuso vibes. Yeah. I don't like to know that you came off the field and you was upset that your shirt was not tucked in no more. Leave, you know what I'm saying? Slide tackles. Leave it all on the field. So. Well, I wonder this is the interesting thing, yeah? When was the last time Krypton Konan was outside? The album was maybe 5 years old now, is it? No way. Check. No way. I might be. The man are legends, They have been around forever. And shout out Krept as well with the new things he's doing with Nala's Baby Cream. Oh my God. Sorry about the comment I left on your page. Oh, yeah, look, Young Kings too. Yeah, they obviously, I know that. I asked the question, I already know that. Of course they're coming outside. They're 7th of Feb next year. Oh, 7th of Feb, it's all confirmed now, yeah? It's confirmed. Oh, Home Sweet Home was, Revenge is Sweet was 2019. So what? What? So that was when in 2019? Does it say 5 years in between a release? November. Yeah. Now I get why they're so apprehensive. Oh, it all makes sense. I wonder what Krept and Konan look like musically 5 years down the line, where things have changed, their circumstances have changed, their things are different. What does this look like? Young Kings, if we're going by what Young Kings sounded like before, you know what that was about. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? That had a certain passion and a certain energy and whatever else. They were Young Kings. They're a bit older. They're still young guys, isn't it? Yeah. But what does it look like today? I wonder what it looks like today. I'm really excited about that, what this looks like. It could go either way. I have every bit of hope and belief that it goes the way that I want it to go. Because they're talented and I really fuck with them. I'm fans of them. But 5 years is a long time. I think when your life is different. 100%. I think what they have to understand is 5 years of content has happened that they haven't immersed themselves with. And I think one thing that I like what artists do is it's not NTS. There's another radio station as part of like NTS, and Dave and Central C went to promote their music. Sometimes it's about asking yourself, what do you like? Not what is a good business decision. Because when you go to what you like with your art, it always hits home. Yeah. Like that Bam Bam freestyle he does in Kenny All Star. There's nowhere else on planet Earth Bam Bam could have done that. There's nowhere else on planet Earth he could have done that. And I just feel like Konan and Krept, they need to find certain ways, they need to connect with certain people in social media that they watch and they enjoy musically and go ham. Forget about the things that everyone does. Because the one thing I liked about Krept and Konan when they first came out, they had a way of being all over my timeline without being all over my timeline. So whether it was Paranormal Activity 2 where there's like 900 people on it, so therefore I'm just going to going to get more replay value. And then off the back of that, they've done a Puma collaboration. Now everyone's got this Puma clothing from them. They're throwing away Nike and all of this. Then they're dropping their t-shirt collaboration. There was always a separate conversation within the worlds of art or what have you that Krept and Konan were having. So even if they didn't have a lead single or a top song, they were plastered over. They probably done a party. Now everyone's on their party. Then they just went and done. I remember when they jumped on Tiny Temper's mixtape, 100K. They done. Hard. There were so many peak moments that they have where then they will drop their freestyles on Link Up TV. I need that level of dedication from Krept and Konan again. Yeah. No pressure. Pressure, man. To get this, I need to find a song. Yeah, give us a good solid. I believe in them still, though. I definitely believe in them still. Easy, man. I definitely believe in them still. I'm looking forward to it, especially in a day right now where I feel like I'm being starved of what I like. My default. I feel like I'm being starved of it a bit. So I'm looking forward to February until that drops still. Big them up. What's going on EA Sports?
Do they have anything left to prove?
Of course.
I feel like if you are on the microphone, you should always feel like you got something to prove. You should always try and find something to tap into that makes you feel like you got something to prove. That's where you're gonna get the passion. If you don't feel like you got nothing to prove, then you might get Kendricked.
Do you know when you feel like you got nothing to prove in music? For real. Honestly,
No,
is when you
joking.
take the competitive nature out of your
Yeah.
organic method of making music. When there's no competition in it, and your only competition is I gotta get a number one, the mechanics
That's
change
dead.
now. Even if you find, I think Chip sometimes finds one person in his mind that he wants to
100%.
write about, and he's not even necessarily really speaking about them, but he needs to write from a place of something.
He taps in.
He taps in.
He taps in.
When Chip taps in.
Even when he did the deodorant thing, it sounds like he's tapped in somewhere.
I feel like he's cussing someone.
Yeah, exactly. At first I'm thinking, who's he sending for?
Them, man,
But then
I'm
I
like-
realise it's an ad. But it's not an ad because he's tapped in, but it's an ad.
It's an ad.
Yeah.
It's smart.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Chip, I'm sorry. He knows.
He does
yeah,
it
man.
perfectly still.
Chip, I love Chip for that one. But
He
yeah,
does it
honestly,
perfectly.
that's the one thing I like, man.
That's probably what Chip probably felt like. Do you know what? I watched, you know, where Konan was going around, he went and checked a few people or whatever, yeah.
Sorry about the plants,
It's-
man.
When I see Chip listening to it, Chip's buzzing him or whatnot, and it's like, you know, like how we know Chip, yeah? You know, Chip would have heard that and thought, yeah, I need to go in and, you get what I'm saying? I need to, and I love that.
But
I
them
love
conversations
that.
are
Gets
cropping
is
up a
like
lot,
that as
man.
well. Huh?
Them conversations are cropping up a lot. I see Ambush saying I got a better catalogue than Tef, and then
Yeah,
Tef saying,
yeah.
I like them arguments.
Yeah.
Music. You start writing from a new place when a man's telling you he's better than you. You start talking to your friends like, is he mad? You start going in the booth and spitting something like the whole world believe.
When Ambush and Tef drop, yeah, bare indirects, friendly, but they're both gonna be tapped in.
What they should do, they should use this to their advantage.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon style. Do you know what I'd be doing? Remember what Kanye and 50 done? I'll do the same week release drop. Let's
Yeah,
go
but that
for it.
doesn't say who's the best.
No, but it doesn't. But it's a way for you to build a conversation and grow. And if you two are competing each other, think about
Oh, who's
this
got a
as
better project? Yeah, because we'll be looking at it through the eyes of project, not numbers.
No,
yeah,
exactly.
I hear it.
But
yeah, I
just
hear it.
spiral of
I hear
conversation.
it. Hear it.
Come on, man. This is WWF. Let's play. Pause.
Liam Payne.
Yes.
You know what is mad, yeah? I don't know if this was in and around your circle, but Liam Payne found himself in an unfortunate situation, yeah, where he lost his life. And it was mad to hear, like, straight away, yeah, bare conspiracy theories. Immediate.
But you know why?
Oh, someone rang me. Oh my God, did you hear about Liam Payne? I said, well, yeah. I said, yeah, it's like sad, isn't it? They must have killed him. I said, what? Okay, I'm not disputing that didn't happen, but I'm saying why? Oh, he had a court case. I'm saying, well, what was the court case? He apparently see something with one girl or whatever. They must have got. I'm saying, bare buzzwords, bro. Bare buzzwords. Bare buzzwords. They must have got him. Who's they?
I love that one, you know.
Wow.
Who is
Yeah,
they?
who's they and why? Like, obviously he was a guy. Do you get what I'm saying? But do you like? So you're telling me?
Not your court case argument, bro.
And you know what as well, yeah? Can we start giving grace to dead people for a little piece?
Go.
Can we give a week
Right.
and then go mad?
Yes.
I'm not saying don't go mad on the timeline because I expect to see that, but don't phone me.
Yeah.
Give the boy a week of grace, and after that, if you want to go mad, go mad.
Yeah.
We're treating it like he's going court for something. He is not going court, big man. He's gone.
Yeah.
Show a bit of respect, a bit of grace, man, because
Family has to see it.
the
The family has to see that.
it.
Yeah,
and
the family has to see it, man. It's crazy.
TMZ crosses for
I
that,
heard.
man.
I heard the TMZ was all posting the thing like his body and that, which is crazy.
crosses,
I just
man.
think that's mental. But I did hear that he was in a hotel, right?
Yeah.
I heard the 911 call where the man who worked at the thing was basically just saying that there's a guy in his room. He didn't know who it was. He's just saying there's a guy in his room. It looks like he's high on drugs or whatnot. And yeah, he's like basically going mad up there. But the reason why he was calling is because he said that room has a balcony. So we're just worried that because he's throwing things around and he's running around in there, that he might tip over. That was why he made the call. But yeah, the pictures and all this type of thing.
It's sad, man.
The pictures of the body and all these type of things is just all a bit too. I just think it's just all a bit too mad.
Pictures of the body.
Yeah.
Well, no, so I think TMZ
The
had a
arm
picture of
and the
that.
top he was wearing, and the reason why you knew it was literally the top that he wore when he was outside of his hotel, just signing autographs, little laughs and all of that. That's what you see the next day. Do you know where I'm coming from? That's what you see
Crazy.
the next day. So, and the sad thing is, I've seen the pictures from the room as well. The pictures from the room are crazy.
Yeah.
they're crazy. All I
there was bare drugs on that, and yeah, I heard about that still.
Listen, big man, I don't know Liam. I don't know. Obviously, my tax bracket and his tax bracket crazy. His thing's crazy. Shout out One Direction. I love all of that. But we need to stop allowing notoriety to have significance over what's right.
100%.
And I'm not suggesting that was always the case in his situation. But when I take a look at the way he's left, that leads me to believe there was times and opportunities for people closer to him to say, yo, he's big man. See that? You have to put that down.
Yeah, right.
You got to put that down. I think there's many examples. We can stay within our community and say, P. Diddy, when he got arrested, what did he have in his room that they had to try and tell him to stay off? Drugs. Big man, you're not seeing life through the correct lens. Your vision's too blurred because the situations in your life that you're not facing, you're trying to run from. So when you become sober and you got to face them, let's take the drugs again. What's that really doing to you? Let's put them down. Because now all of a sudden I see people saying things about Liam. He was always drunk when I saw him and this, that and the third. He was always on that. Well, if you're the closest person around him and that was always the case, why is it now it's a talking point?
Also, it does also raise that talking point of the highs being really high and the lows being really low.
Oh my lord!
Because he reached a crazy high, but then that low is mad low. And this is how these type of things get introduced into your life. And then sometimes as well, I don't know his circumstance, but it's like now what is around you changes and it enables everything that is happening within your low. Because everyone's really in it. And then if you have somebody that's outside of it that cares about you, I could imagine it can be quite difficult to try and pull them out. Because I guess there's only so much phone calls you can have or the times that you can be around them when you've got another enabler who's going to be feeding and doing this, that, and the... Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's sad, man, but, honourable shout out to his family and that and the people that were close to him.
Trust me, man. His missus and all of that. I think
he was with her, innit? Yeah, he was with her.
That's all sad, fam.
Yeah, you ain't never forget them type of things, man.
And shout out the rest of One Direction, man. Coldest, fam. 15 years deep in this blood clot, they were running this thing, bro. My man's...
Is that how old they were?
Bruv, my man died at 31. I remember when they got into One Direction, they were like 16 years old.
Oh,
you gotta understand, these men are different
crazy
type of legends, bro.
Different
type of legends.
Years ago, I was with Angel and we did... Conor Maynard. That was it.
Yeah.
I was with Conor Maynard. Honourable shout out to Sean, tour manager. He's rang me one day. He said, look, I got some bread for you. Do you want to go and just do some DJ shows for Conor Maynard? So I went and did
Chuckie,
it. Yeah.
Just talk, man.
So anyway, now it was really interesting. I've mentioned this before because being in this world is a completely different world to mine.
Come on.
When I'm going backstage and whatnot, I'm just seeing bare boy groups and girl groups and this, that, and I don't know nobody.
Come on.
I don't know no one, but obviously he knows everyone and this, that, and forth, and that's his thing, innit? Yeah.
Come on.
So anyway, now one of the shows we did, they were there. One Direction was there.
You met them?
I didn't meet them. But he knew. Obviously, he knew them. And then we're in the whip. We're in one whip leaving, and the youths thought that One Direction was in the whip. Big man, these youths chased the whip for time. Every moment we thought we got away from them, they got away. I nearly had to put my black face out there and say, yo, it's
no direction.
There's no direction, brother. There's black direction, yeah?
And do you know how famous... Let me just put into sight how... Because everyone now clocks the under 25s run the market space for what's popular. They run that. Remember, One Direction did not win X Factor.
No, they came second, didn't they? No.
You couldn't even name me the winner right now.
No.
That's how crazy these men are. They went America, and where a lot of groups weren't really... Westlife didn't conquer America like that. Boyzone didn't conquer America like that.
No, they conquered it to bits.
One Direction went mad in the blood. Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Come, you can't chat to these guys, fam. You can't chat to these guys, fam. You can't chat to these guys. I rate them. So what they've done was mad. The one thing I wonder.
Look at their streaming.
Nice. Bro, do you know I always wonder though? Because in football, the one thing that you're taught within it, and that's why I like football, is you need brotherhood. So like Pep Guardiola said to the Barcelona team, in order for us to be successful, you all have to humble to yourself to the fact that Messi's the best player in this changing room. Once you all understand he's the best player in this changing room, we can win. Now, I wonder what your mentality is in a group. You're in a group where you all just sing. You obviously all have roles, regulations, so on and so forth. But it's not as structured like football. Like, I feel like in singing, someone might have a little down day, but you can still get the job done. Whereas in football, you're as strong as your weakest player. So there's not that synergy, from my understanding, in football that would possibly be in music. So what happens when one person's ego is so big that he feels, say that, yo, I feel like I'm bigger than these, man.
Right.
Because I've seen my DMs.
Yeah.
I've seen my comments.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, I write the music, but then Harry Styles is the biggest.
Yeah.
He might do the least. I'm not saying that, but if there's no one to say to you, no, we have to humble ourselves to, in terms of a marketing thing, he's the biggest. You can't be any bigger than that. No. If them conversations don't happen, I wonder if friction happens in the group. Little the press comes up.
I've got another take.
Go on, what's your take, fam? Take that word even this big.
You know what? You're probably right, you know. Let me just check something very quickly.
Who? Zayn.
Yeah. Okay.
Zayn, bust out, bro.
Okay, here it is.
You bust out quickly.
You know when a label really hits the belly?
Go on.
And I wonder if
I wonder
if people are going to be honest about this. I wonder if people will be honest about this, yeah? Because this might be a part where they're secretly kind of happy.
I hate you, but I hear you. Because
when the label hits the belly? When the artist dies.
The belly that they're going to hit right now.
You see Psycho? You see this? I just looked, yeah? That last album there, 4, One Direction.
So who was it before?
Psycho. That's Simon Cowell's label. That's Simon Cowell's label, yeah? You see them right now eating to pieces for a long time now as well. Psycho. For a long time.
Because Psycho got a big cut of that money, innit?
Yeah, well, he signed them. He signed them. Obviously, would have made big bread from them anyway. But look, now, when an artist dies, mad, big bread. Big bread. That's big business, you know. Signing an artist, yeah, them doing really well, and then them dying.
And it's not even like, imagine, like, it's not like you're dying at a point where the artist, if they perform, you don't recognize it. Like, these niggas are dying at 31, bro. And it's like, they can still build even more success off the back of this.
Well, this is what I'm saying, because like, sometimes the best part of the dying is not immediate, like when they're on the go. It's when they've kind of now, you know what I mean, broken up, not really touring so much anymore, but they made a big impression on the world. So people are still listening to stuff. They've got classics. They got music that they got syncs anyway. So these things are happening. They're set in stone. If you can get one of those, that's already cold. But then them dying.
I'm sorry to keep going on the business angle of death, because I don't mean to be like this, but bro, you take a look at Puff Daddy, who now is gone, but you take I'll Be Missing You out of the equation in terms of transition from bad boy lifestyle to, but I'm a good guy, even though after that the bad flipping shine thing happened. But at least, because obviously he's come off the back of shootings and all of that, and then he makes I'll Be Missing You. That changed. I saw it went #1 in the UK.
That was a massive record.
Massive, bro.
Wait a minute.
He made a song about his brethren dying, saying I'll be missing you. If that song was just about his brethren being alive, no one cared.
Do you think, because obviously he would have made big bread out of that, yeah? Speculation. Do you think he said to Biggie's mumsy, here's a point off the record? Here's a thing.
He didn't even give the people in the office that were meant to be.
Bonkers.
Come on, bro.
She must have. She's on the record.
She must have. Don't do that.
But that's one of them ones where really isn't the right thing the moral thing to do is to say, in this circumstance, you don't give off your everything, but you say, here's a, do you know what I mean? If you're, especially as a label and that as well, as there's an absolute mad influx of dough that's coming in, yes, it would obviously be paid to their estate. So their estate would make the money, I guess, anyway. They would still make the money, but it's like, don't you just peel off I don't know. That's another conversation. I don't know. I ain't been in that. But all I'm saying is there's big dough. All I'm saying is there's big dough in artistry death.
Yeah, I imagine Prince, Michael Jackson.
What?
I imagine all of these people after they died. Jesus Christ.
Listen, let's be clear. Yeah, let's say, what label is Tion on? Tion was on Warner for a while, wasn't he? And isn't Ed Sheeran? Who's the legacy act on Warner? I'll try and find it. The point that I'm making is is that it's recycled money.
Bro, it's mad.
When you're getting the advance than that, when the label signs you and says, yeah, here, boom, we believe in you and whatnot, they're taking it from this dead artist. And then that one who's booming as well. Right? Hopefully we can make you that. And then once you do that and you can fly and do whatever it is that you're doing, make some classics or whatnot, you sign out of the game, later on you die, next paycheck again. What? And then you just keep recycling. But I guess it's business, isn't it?
But you say that, but I'm gonna let everyone know. I don't feel that. Only thing is that's not gonna be true for everyone. That is not everyone's story.
Of course.
Like, I heard someone talking about the other day on Filthy, and shout out the young cat. They're like, you man are getting old. I started thinking to myself, I think this is the first time in my life I'd rather be over 30 than under it. Because
I'm telling you.
the man them that are dying on a quick rate, these rappers, they're not going to have this day that Biggie had or this day that not. They're dying whilst they're still on the come up, these guys. People are passing away in quick proximity. So the last thing I want to do is be spreading this information and speaking about, there's too many rappers passing in thing right now. So if you want to have what we're speaking about, you need to get to a point, bro. You're not just going to get it because you passed away. Like, you only get that if you go prison. If you have like a couple of songs and you go prison, you can get an influx, but not if you pass, man.
Has anyone called you uncle yet?
Yeah, I call myself Uncle on Cream Show. Uncle Paul.
Oh, is it, yeah?
When I go into the
but has anyone called you that?
No.
On a casual one?
But why am I around that demographic?
No, like someone, I saw, because I mentioned this before, I saw a TikTok of one brother. There's one Don, he said, he was, what was he, on a bus or something? I can't remember. He was helping somebody out, some youth or whatnot. I think he might have let him go and whatnot. And the youth just said to him, love for that uncle. He said, hold on a minute, what? Yeah. Unks? He wasn't, these times he's saying he's not dressed in anything that is giving off uncle vibes or whatnot. No, he weren't prepared for that. But it's just a sign of, he's getting a little bit older. There's a newer demographic in that. And this youth was just being respectful. So that's why I'm asking you this question. Has someone just respectfully called you unks?
Now, what you have to let your friend know is that he's
not my brother's TikTok.
You have to let that guy know his attire, unfortunately, was old. There is an attire that we wear.
That's true.
Our age group needs to get over some of the things that we believe are still cool. They're not.
They're not cool. Yeah, exactly.
So the moment you start wearing them like it just came out this morning, there'll be a younger man to say, uncle. Now, unfortunately, I'm not uncool. So I don't have them types of
right then.
And
yes.
I look sweet.
I'll argue. You're an uncle attire. Today you're an uncle attire.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
No, but you didn't see what I said. Because I'll smash that as well.
Right.
I told you, on the Cream Show, I called myself uncle. I call myself uncle. I go into uncle mode, we have a moan. But daily, look at me. I didn't even make an effort.
There's a dresser still.
Come on, my brother. So, this is just a casual day. We call this Friday. You wait to see me Saturday.
But sometimes you do dress like a big man, though. Like
me?
a proper big man.
Yeah,
when you came in, what was it? Was it the last episode? If someone didn't know you, you look like a proper big man.
No, but I look stylish with it. They call you uncle when you just look like
That's
someone
true.
in the community. Like,
That's
I'm
true.
uncle. I don't look like that guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that guy. But if you are that guy, don't try and deny
Yeah,
you're
like
that guy.
someone would have seen Poe and said, they would have said big bro.
Come
Probably
on, my
would have
brother.
said big bro still that
So
day.
you have to look.
I
Come
hear
on, do
it.
you see the wings, man? No Red Bull. You know I'm fly. Don't try and put me in his category.
It's coming though. But I'm alright with that.
It's never gonna come.
You ain't never gonna be called uncle.
I was gonna get straight to granddad. They're just gonna be like, this
Oh,
nigga's
yeah,
too
yeah,
fly.
yeah, I
He's
hear it.
granddad now.
Yeah, I hear it now.
Queen Flips gets called uncle.
Pops. Queen Flips, that's mad.
Papa, that's my news.
Yeah, nah. Anything else?
Well,
Why have you put Frank Sinatra? He must be making labels.
No, you said legacy act, innit?
Oh, is he a Warner legacy act?
listen, do you know what? Not even. Can I
How
say
much
something?
money?
Yeah.
That's right now.
Wow.
Listen, R.I.P. My prayers go to Celine Dion. My prayers go to Celine Dion.
Ain't she deaf?
No, but I think she's going through a bit of.
Yeah,
like,
she is. She's going
but
through
if
something.
something goes wrong with her, let me tell you something. There'll be National Celine Dion Day in Jamaica.
What?
I guarantee you.
They'll fill up the stadium.
Yo, for Celine. Shout out Celine Dion every time we show our support.
I think she's a hearing problem or something.
Yeah.
She's going through.
But yeah, man, shout out everyone. Remember our people, chat to your brethren if you're going through stuff. Don't just keep it all locked in, fam. A problem shared is a problem half.
Strongly.
So definitely. And remember, there's a song on Future's, not Future, I talk about Future too much, Young Thug's last project, Business is Business. And I think we should always listen to it.
What's that one?
What was it?
How do I pronounce it? Jones. Oh, someone's phoning me.
I feel like I don't know it.
Put it on right now for me. Just go to it. Business is Business. I realize this is probably the best song it's not the third best song ever made. Oh my God, my mum's phoning me about these people that just come to my house.
There
right
it is. Is that there?
Just play it right there.
Yeah, see it there. So you play it from here?
Yeah, sure. Is it volume on?
Yeah. Bruv, he has been going through this court process for so long.
It must be shit or something.
Huh?
Must be shit.
It must be shit.
Yeah.
But of course, going to court is never.
I'm talking about the case.
Oh yeah.
I'm not thought about the journey. No, of course. We already know that, big man.
Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. Yeah, love.